What is going on? I'm zmoT. It's a 2-video sort of day. Today is, first of all, Mega Crab sneak peek action. If you've noticed, right about here, we've got our Mega Crab Shadow Mega Crab sneak peek in the box. Do go check it out. Next up, we are going to move over here to Gearheart. And you might be wondering, Zed, why are you on your max level account? And that is because this account has max level artillery and max level barrage. What we're going to do is just jump in and see if we can simply ignore all of the defenses, throw all sorts of artilleries and barrages at the core, and see if we can blow it up unboosted. Because generally speaking, that is going to be the easiest possible way for people to take down the War Factory. And the fact that there are no shield gens, that is likely going to be the best option. Now, I only have 5 gunboat energy statues. I believe, let's just double check that right here. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 troop damage, 5 gunboat energy statues. Unboosted. Usually you can't beat War Factory unboosted in that manner, but the fact that I've got the extra level HQ25 artillery, HQ25 barrage means maybe, just maybe, figured it was worth a little bit of an experiment. Make sure when you're throwing your artillery that you are hitting the buildings around the core, as that's going to give you some free gunboat energies, and free stuff is good, right? Free as in beer. Let's keep barraging, keep artillerying, and then we will come back with a low level. Doing this in a little bit reverse order. I was very, very curious to see if this was actually possible. I've heard from a bunch of you that you took this down with warriors. I will not be doing that with my low level account, because my low level account has level 11 warriors, and generally speaking, it's going to take a little bit more skill than I like to show on my low-level stuff. Low-level stuff, try to make it as simple as possible so that absolutely anyone can copy. If that's going to be the case or not this time, we will find out. But it looks like for max levels, this is going to be absolutely, absolutely perfect. Maybe use your operation boost, but we've got this core down to a very, very manageable level, and we should be able to take this out on our next attack without any skill, any effort, any troops lost. So it will cost you a little bit more gold, because it's, what, 20,000 per attack, but that's going to be recouped by the fact that you're not going to have to throw any troops at it. 0 losses, War Factory, just like that. Tons and tons of GBE left over, so you probably don't even need the max level artillery or barrage, but I do recommend upgrading those, because they're going to make your attacks a little bit stronger. So there is step number 1. War Factory done just like that. 0 troops, 0 casualties, 0 difficult whatsoever. Gonna pause, come back quickly. See you in 2 seconds. Enjoy some speed serum music while we wait. We are back in action. Season 727 has not started yet, but do consider subscribing for a sneak peek of that as well. Last few months, I have not been putting out sneak peeks. It's not because I don't love you, it's just that I've been super duper ridiculously busy and out of town and all of those kinds of things. So hopefully we'll be putting out more sneak peeks, more live streams, all of that stuff in the coming weeks and months. Anyways, typically we'd solo this, buy this shock launcher, but that Microwav'r is going to make the walk a little bit more difficult, a little bit more interesting. So what we are going to do first and foremost is get rid of those shock launchers right there. Next up, what we'll do, we're going to come over here on this left-hand side. That way Everspark's going to walk ever so diagonally, trying to get to those shock launchers. Probably could do it with 2 smokes, but you know what? Let's have her pop out. One. She died. Everspark went and died. That was silly. Trying to save a smoke. So, trying to save gunboat energy when there was no need to save gunboat energy. Next up, I'm going to throw all of my extra gunboat energy over here on these back rockets. Hacking those 3 rockets would be incredibly difficult, because those grapplers and or Microwav'rs are going to make things difficult to get back there. So attack number 1 is in the books, and it sucked. So we are going to keep moving on forward. I gotta be honest here, though, I kind of like it when my attacks suck, because it means anyone out there can copy and do better than I did. So now we're gonna get Everspark walking. Gonna try that one more time. I think we can do the double hack this time. Everspark's gonna pop out, hack 1, hack 2, and then die. So I don't necessarily recommend that. You're going to be way out of range of that Microwav'r. There's no real reason to do it, except for it's going to save you 4 gunboat energy, which isn't super duper bright on my part, but just trying to be fancy, and it definitely cost me on that previous attack. Getting rid of these rockets just like that. Getting rid of rockets is way easier than getting rid of shock launchers or grapplers, because their health is a little bit lower. Next up, what we're going to do is get rid of all of the mines that could be a problem. My walk is going to be somewhere in this neighborhood. I'm going to try and walk straight and then diagonal. So my next step is we need to get rid of... You know what? Let's throw some gunboat energy onto... Probably not a good idea, to be completely honest. I'm going to throw all of my gunboat energy onto this flamethrower next, because that flamethrower is going to be a pest when we get towards the core. If we can get rid of it, it's going to make our shocks a little bit easier. And now we're just going to retreat. You know what? I take it back. We're not going to retreat. The fact that we're sitting at 12 gunboat energy and our next artillery is at 15, I'm going to throw one boat of zookas right here. They're going to pick up that one factory supply chest. I can throw my artillery and then we'll retreat and hopefully not lose any troops. You can tell when the building is destroyed because your screen shakes. And then we're going to click retreat. Troops run back to the boat. 0 troops lost. Extra artillery. Pretty darn great. Now, one quick note. Hopefully you guys have been here before. If you haven't and you're like, what the heck is this guy doing? Why does he keep retreating? It's because I don't have instant training, and I don't want to force you guys to have instant training or spend diamonds. So if you have instant training or you are worried about smoking your troops, at this point, clear up the right-hand side. Get rid of those flotsams, get rid of the cannons, get rid of all of this stuff, because it'll make your final core hit way, way, way easier. What we're going to do is we're going to walk way over to this right-hand side. We're going to try our darndest to get rid of that rocket launcher right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk right to about here, because I don't want to go anywhere near that Microwav'r. Those Microwav'rs will make popcorn out of Everspark's brain if you let them. So now that we're over here, we're going to flare that rocket launcher. That should allow us very, very easily to get rid of that rocket launcher. Then we're going to shade our smoke slightly in front of her, because we're going to try to walk over and get that shock launcher. So where we're going to walk next is right to there. Now, you'll notice that she's going to walk right in the middle of those Microwav'rs. Easy way to get past the Microwav'rs, of course, is to shock them. But as you can see right about now, suddenly that rocket launcher is not getting damaged by all the things that I just shocked. So maybe, just maybe, shock only the Microwav'r, not the boom cannon, but we should have enough gunboat energy to get rid of that rocket launcher as well. So boom goes the shock launcher, getting rid of the rocket launcher at the same time, and then finally using most, if not all, of our remaining gunboat energy right there on top of those flamethrowers. So hoping to get rid of the flamethrowers, and now we've gotten rid of a shock that's behind us, which is going to be fantastic. You know what? I think we're ready to hit the core. Again, this is very, very subjective. If you're not comfortable with smokes, do clear up that right-hand side, because you can just clear all the way to core without any problem at all. Let's have a look, see what we've got left. I believe that's 3 attacks. Yeah, so I always hit the core on my 4th attack. That way you know that if you totally and utterly screw it up, you're not going to have any concerns, because you can come back and hit it again. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk to that spot between that cannon and that sniper tower, as close to the damage amplifier as we can. Then we're going to take a nice 45-degree angle turn. So I'm going to drop all of my troops right about here. I think that's about where we want to be. And the reason for that is because I don't want to go anywhere near the Microwav'rs. We are going to try to avoid the Microwav'rs. We're going to flare to right about there. Now, we can gap our smokes. Not concerned about gapping our smokes at all. Lost a troop there. Maybe don't make your gaps quite as big as I did, but the fact is you can gap your smokes, because all we need to worry about is that left-hand side rocket launcher, and it is not super duper close to core. So 1, 2, boom, boom, just like that, getting all of our troops in close and personal to the core. Now we only have 2 shocks here, 2 measly little shocks. We're going to shock the machine guns behind us and the flamethrowers and machine guns in front of us, and then just like that, wrecking the core using all of our troops. That far rocket launcher being more of a pest than I would have liked it to be, but as you can see right here, getting all of the damage on the core. Super sloppy core hit, and we managed to take out most of the health. So like I said, if you are not super duper confident with your smokes, I would highly recommend clearing this entire right hand shore so you can just walk up and blow it up. But if you like getting a little bit of practice, do throw those zookas in. Now what we're going to do here, we could take this down using 1 boat of zookas, but instead what we're going to do is save a couple diamonds and use some cues we learned from our first attack, and that is we can probably barrage this core down, and in the event that we can't, we should be able to do some damage to some buildings, and every building you damage does some damage to core as well. So HQ18 does not have all of the all of the artillery and barrage power that our max level account does, but should be able to take it down just like that. 1 core hit that was not well done, to be honest. Make your flare a little bit farther from the core, that way your troops are safe because there's nothing that gets them from behind, and they're also going to be out of the range of that rocket launcher. Anyways, that is the War Factory from me. Not super duper tidy, but hopefully it gives you an idea of which buildings you want to hack. And then if you decide to go up that right-hand side, by all means do, but give that walking path a quick glance over, because it's going to give you all sorts of skills and practice. And I kind of like failing on War Factory, which I shouldn't say I like it, but trying difficult things on War Factory, I highly recommend it, because it's going to make your operation attacks that much stronger. And really, if you fail, if you fail on War Factory and you don't share it with your task force mates, does anyone know? That being said, it's good to fail. Failing on things like War Factory is fantastic, and it gives you some confidence that, hey, you know what? Even when I screw up and make a bad walking path, I can still take this thing down. I can still recover. I've got the gunboat energy, troop damage to make up for it. Anyways, that is my motivational speech for you. I shall talk to you soon. Thank you for coming in. I'm zmoT. Peace.